All right, we are on lesson six, which is a slopes of rising and falling lines. We're going to talk a little bit about what a falling line is later in the lesson. For now, make sure you have the alternate version of this lesson so that you can follow along as I talk through it. So for number one, we're going to use a slope triangle to find the slope of line L. You did slope triangles in lesson 5. So I just have done number one to remind you of how to do this. So it's vertical over horizontal or height over base, y over x will give you your slope. So I have two different triangles we've drawn. This red one, we have a height of 2 and a base of 3. Or this purple one, which is bigger, has a height of 4 and a base of 6. Either way, when you simplify, you get 2/3 because both triangles have the same slope. Our slope for this one is 2/3. On your own, go ahead, complete problems 2 and 3, which is the same thing, finding the slope of different lines. So what you should have gotten for your slopes for number 2 was the slope is 2/3, and for 3, the slope is also 2/3. I can show you the work for those real quick. Here's two different triangles, 2/3. And once more for number 3, here's two different triangles, or one in this case, 2/3. 4 over 6 simplifies to 2/3. So for number 4, it's asking which line is steepest. And we know steepest is whatever has the greatest slope, but in this case, the slopes are all the same. This means that none of the lines are steeper than the others because they all have a slope m equals 2/3. So they are all the same. That is to say, if the slope is the same, the lines are equally steep. So going on to number 5, we have a graph of a line here, and the directions for A say to draw 4 different slope triangles, 2 above the line, 2 below the line. I've already drawn one above, that's here in red, and one below, that's here in blue. Go ahead on your own, draw 2 new triangles, another one above and another one below. And then I've done the work for those 2 triangles that I've already drawn. So this one has a height of 2 and a base of 4. That's 2 over 4, simplifies to 1/2. And our blue triangle below the line here has a height of 3 and a base of 6. 3 over 6 equals 1/2. For the 2 triangles you've drawn, determine the slope. And then the slope of the line, based on what we did in B, our height to base ratio, determine the slope of the line. What you should find is that all 4 of your triangles have the same slope, same height to base ratio, and that is your slope. Before we start number 6, I'm going to show you a video to give you an idea of talking about falling lines. So every line we've had in this lesson so far has been a rising line. It's going up and to the right. But number 6, you see this line is going down when it goes to the right. So we're going to talk about falling lines. So there's no video on this sound on this video. I'll just talk about it. So this is what they're showing. As we move to the right, the line is going down. That's a falling line. So they put 2 points on some points on here where it crosses the grid, making sure those points are exactly where the grid overlaps. And now they're going to do their rise over run, their vertical over horizontal, height over base. So the line goes down 3 and to the right 2. That's going to be a negative 3/2. So the point here being that when you have a falling line, your slope will be negative. All right, so now that we know that a falling line, so a line going to the right and going down, has a negative slope, we're going to figure out what the slope of our 2 lines for number 6 are. So you can see that the first graph is going up as it goes to the right. So this is going to have a positive slope, whereas the one on the right here, it's going down as it goes to the right. So it's going to have a negative slope. Using that, and I've given you your height and base as a little help, figure out what the slope of each line is. So for the one on the left, what you should have found is that your slope is a positive 3/2. We are going up 3 and to the right 5. So that's 3 over 5, 3/5. And therefore, the one on the right here in blue is a negative 3/5 because we're going down 3 and then to the right 5, negative 3 over 5. So for number 7, it wants us to do a graph that has a slope of 4/3. This means you can start at any point you want and then show your slope having 4/3 going up 4 to the right 3. This is a positive slope, so it's going to be rising line going up and to the right. Um, in this case, I've done one line where I started at the origin. I would like you to draw a different line for a slope of 4/3. Going on to number 8, it's 4/3 again, but now it's given us a specific point to pass through. So we're starting here at -5, -7, and it wants us to do the same slope. So 4/3. That means we are going up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's how I got to this point. And then you just continue from each point after that. Up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Doing that until you've gotten points all along your graph, and you should have a line that looks similar to mine. Please use a ruler for straight lines. All right, so number 9 and number 10, these are similar to what's going to be on your exit ticket. I'm going to go ahead and talk you through number 9, and then you can do number 10 on your own. So it says to start at the point -5, -2. I've gotten that point here in red. And then it says to do a slope of 5. 5 would be the same as 5/1. So that means you are going up 5 and to the right 1. So we're starting from this point. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 1. So that gets us a point here. And keeping in mind that we could always do the opposite as well. So we can do up and to the right, or we can go down and to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1. And I'm just going to cut to doing all of those points, so you don't need to see me do all of them. All right, there's the line of that graph, or the line that's going through that point. So point -5, -2, and a slope of 5. Go ahead doing the same thing. Do number 10 on your own. It's starting at -8, 4, and it's got a slope of -2/7. Reminder that that's going to be a falling line, so it should be going down as it goes to the right. And that is the lesson. Get your notes checked before you do your exit ticket.